Okay, so we're going to recap the Matthew 15 hand washing parable and situation before we go into the account that we see in Mark of the same thing. So remember, the scribes and the Pharisees in verse 1 came to Yahushua, the Messiah, and basically asking them, why do you transgress the tradition of the elders? For they don't wash their hands when they eat bread. So they're talking about his disciples are not washing their hands like they should. Well, the thing is that's a tradition of the elders. That's not law. That's not something you should be holding over other people and as a yoke over them. And the other thing is it's bread that we're talking about here. We're not talking about pig or something, right? They don't eat pig. And he's not telling them to do that either. So then they are rebuked here in verse 3 where it says, why do you transgress the commands of Elohim because of your tradition? And so he gives some examples here in the yellow of all those commands that they transgress in order to uphold their other rules and traditions that they hold in more high regard than the instructions and Torah and commands that they are supposed to be upholding. So after he rebukes them and gives them all the examples of this, he says in verse 9, in vain do they worship me, teaching as teachings the commands of men. So they're not teaching the truth, the Torah, and the proper teachings. They're teaching commands of men, traditions, okay? And so he tells them plainly in verse 11, it's not what goes into the mouth that defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man. This isn't a blanket statement saying that you can pretty much eat whatever you want. He's just basically saying that the defilement, it comes from your heart. It's the heart, matter of the heart. It's not a matter of what you're eating. So that's not the question or the change or the, debate here. It's the source of what defiles you is from your heart, not from what you eat. Okay. So Peter, he says, please explain this to me. And he says, don't you understand whatever comes out of your mouth goes out of the stomach and goes into the sewer? So he's just basically saying it goes through you. It's not something that's going to stay in there in your heart and cause you to become a wicked person. So he says this in 18, but what comes out of the mouth comes from the heart, and these defile a man. So the things that you say and the way that you act and the things that you hold on to others, that is what defiles you, because from out of the heart comes forth wicked reasonings and murders and all of these things that he lists right down below. Those are the things that defile you. Where it says unwashed hands does not defile